I'm 77 years old. And 2 months ago, I ran into 3 people I used to work with at a coffee shop downtown.
I spent 38 years at that company, gave them everything. Weekends, holidays, my health, my family.
Worked my way from junior analyst to senior vice president. I walked up to these former colleagues,
People I'd worked alongside for years. Big smile on my face. Ready to catch up.
They looked at me like I was a stranger trying to sell them something. One of them finally said, "I'm sorry, do we know you?" I stood there in that coffee shop, wearing the company logo on a jacket I'd gotten at some award ceremony, and I realized I gave them 38 years. They forgot me in 5. Here's what nobody tells you about corporate loyalty. It only goes one direction. You give them your life. They give you a paycheck and a retirement party. And the second you're gone, it's like you never existed. I'm making this video because I see people everywhere confusing their job with their identity, sacrificing their family for a company that would replace them before their body was cold. Building a legacy at work while their actual legacy, their children, learn to live without them. And I need you to know what it costs. Because I paid everything, and the company forgot my name. Let me tell you what happened. 2 months ago, I was at this coffee shop near the old office. Habit, I guess. Pathetic habit of a man who doesn't know who he is without the job. I saw these 3 people wearing company badge lanyards talking about some project. I approached their table, said, "Rachel, it's Robert. Robert Chen. I used to be SVP of operations." She looked at me blankly. "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we've met. I'm actually Sarah. I've only been here 3 years." Not Rachel. I'd spent 10 years working with Rachel and couldn't even recognize that this wasn't her. The other 2 just stared at me, polite but confused, waiting for me to leave. I mumbled something about mistaken identity and walked away. Sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes. I'd given 38 years, and I couldn't even recognize the people who'd replace the people I'd worked with. The whole thing had moved on without me. And nobody remembered the old guard. Let me tell you the biggest lie I told myself for 38 years. This company needs me. I'm essential. I'm building something important. I'm creating a legacy. They'll remember what I contributed. You know what? That's not dedication. That's not being a team player. That's ego and delusion dressed up as professional commitment. I see people everywhere, especially talented people in their 30s and 40s, and they're all saying some version of this. I'm indispensable. This project needs me specifically. I can't take time off during this critical period. I'm building towards something. Let me save you 38 years of regret with one simple truth. You are completely replaceable at work and irreplaceable at home. You know why? Because companies are machines designed to keep running. They will find someone else. They will reorganize around your absence. But your son's graduation happens once. Your daughter's wedding happens once. Your marriage either survives or it doesn't. And your kids either know you or they don't. Those things don't get do-overs. They just happen without you. I started at Henderson Technologies in 1986. I was 31, had a wife, Margaret, and a 3-year-old son, David. I told Margaret, "This is our shot. If I can prove myself here, the sacrifice will be worth it." I made VP in 9 years, then senior VP in another 8, then executive VP was always just one more push away. I never stopped pushing because there was always another level, another promotion, another crisis that required my specific expertise. David grew up during those years. I have pictures of him at various ages in my house, but I don't have memories, not real ones. I have flashes, moments between business trips, conversations cut short by phone calls. When he was 17, David had to choose which college to attend. He wanted to talk through the options. I was in the middle of a major acquisition, biggest deal of my career, working 18-hour days. David asked if we could have dinner, just us, to talk about college. I said yes. Picked a date 3 weeks out after the deal would close. 2 days before our dinner, something came up. Last-minute complication. I had to fly to Boston. I called David from the airport, said I was sorry, we'd reschedule. He said okay. His voice was flat. Not angry, just resigned. We never rescheduled. He picked a school on his own. I know he ended up at Northwestern. But I don't know if that was his first choice or his safety school. His graduation was on a Saturday in June. I'd known about it for months. The Friday before, we had an emergency board meeting. Quarterly numbers were down. Investors were nervous. I told Margaret I'd try to get to the graduation, but I couldn't promise. This meeting was critical. She said, "Robert, it's your son's college graduation. This happens once." I said, "I know, but right now, 2,000 jobs depend on us fixing this situation. That's more important than sitting in a stadium for 2 hours." I didn't go to the graduation. I sat in a conference room with 11 other people, hammering out a strategy that would be obsolete in 6 months. David called me that night. Said the ceremony was nice. Said he understood I had important work. Said it was fine. It wasn't fine. But I told myself it was. Told myself that providing for the family was more important than attending every event. Is that what you want? To miss the unrepeatable moments because you convinced yourself a meeting was more important? I retired 5 years ago. Mandatory retirement at 72. 38 years with the company. They threw me a retirement party, big event, speeches about my contributions. The CEO came, talked about my dedication. Very touching, very professional. I found out later they had already hired my replacement. Started training him 2 months before my retirement party. He was in the building that night, probably in his new office going through files while I was downstairs receiving my plaque. Before my retirement party was even over, the job was filled, and the new guy was already making changes. 38 years, replaced in an afternoon. They gave me a plaque, a watch, a photo book. I have them in a box in my closet. Haven't looked at them since the week I retired. You know what I don't have in a box? My relationship with David. You can't put that in storage and take it out when you're ready. It's just gone. David is 44 now, lives in Portland with his wife and daughter. We talk maybe once a month, obligatory calls, updates about weather and work, nothing real. He invited me to his daughter's, my granddaughter Emma's dance, recital last year. She was 7. First big performance, I almost didn't go. Felt awkward. I barely know Emma. But I went, sat in the audience, watching this little girl I don't really know do a 3-minute dance routine. Afterward, Emma came running up to her parents. David picked her up, hugged her. They had this moment. Father and daughter. Complete connection. I stood there watching, and I thought, I never had that with David. Not once. Because I was always at the office or thinking about the office. David saw me standing there. Brought Emma over, said, "Emma, this is Grandpa Robert." Emma said, "Hi," polite but uninterested. Then went back to talking to her dad. "I'm not her grandpa. I'm some old man who shows up occasionally. Not a real presence in her life. And whose fault is that? Mine. Because I taught David that work comes first. That being present is optional. He learned the lesson I taught him, and now he's teaching it to his daughter by keeping me at a distance. After I retired, I thought I'd stay connected to the company, maybe consult, share my institutional knowledge. Nobody called, not once. I'd email former colleagues, suggest lunch. Most didn't respond. A few sent polite replies that went nowhere. 6 months after I retired, there was a company anniversary celebration. I wasn't invited. Found out about it from seeing photos on LinkedIn. 38 years. Not invited to the celebration. All those nights I stayed late. All those weekends I worked. All those family events I missed. All those times I told my wife and son that work had to come first. The company doesn't remember any of it, but my son does. He remembers every missed birthday, every canceled trip, every time I chose a meeting over him. If you're putting your job before your family right now, I want you to ask yourself some hard questions. When's the last time you said no to work to say yes to your family? Actually count. How many times this year? If you got hit by a bus tomorrow, how long would it take your company to replace you? Be honest. A week? A month? They already have succession plans. Can you name 3 things your kid is worried about right now? 3 things they're excited about? Or have you been so absent that you don't actually know? When you're on your deathbed, will you wish you'd spent more time at the office? Or will you wish you'd been at the recital? If you can't answer these honestly, you're making the same mistake I made. Here's what I understand now. Your job is a transaction. You give them work, they give you money, that's it. They don't love you, they can't. They're a legal entity designed to generate profit. But your family can love you. Will love you if you let them. Companies will forget you, but your family won't forgive you. The company has already planned for your absence, but your kids can't plan for having a father who's never there. After that coffee shop incident, I started trying to rebuild with David. I called him, said I wanted to talk, really talk, about how I'd failed him. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Dad, I don't need an apology for the past. The past is done, but I don't know how to have a relationship with you now. We're strangers who share DNA." That hurt more than anger would have. What David was describing was indifference built on decades of abandonment. We're trying. Having dinners when I visit Portland. I'm learning about Emma, but there's this gap. Decades of absence that can't be fixed with a few visits. If I could go back and talk to my 31-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop telling yourself this job needs you. Stop believing you're building a legacy at work. Stop thinking they'll remember your sacrifice. Stop putting the company before your family. Start saying no to work sometimes. Start being present at dinner. Start going to the games and recitals and graduations. And most importantly, start now. Not after this project, not after the promotion, not after you prove yourself. Now. Because I promise you the company will replace you. They're already planning for it. But your son's childhood won't wait. Your daughter's wedding won't reschedule. And that plaque they give you at retirement won't keep you company when you're alone. I'm 77. If I'm lucky, maybe 8 more years. Maybe 10 if blessed. Probably less. In these last 2 months, since that coffee shop, I've stopped checking the company's stock price, stopped reading their press releases, stopped pretending I'm still part of something that forgot me. I'm trying to be part of David's life, part of Emma's life. It's awkward, it's slow, it's hard, but it's better than sitting in my house looking at a box of achievements that mean nothing to anyone. I'm poorer now in terms of professional identity than I was at 50. I have no title, no office, no meetings, and I'm happier. Not happy, not yet, but less empty than I was when I measured my worth by my position at a company that doesn't remember my name. That's the irony. When you stop building a legacy at work and start building a life at home, you start to matter in ways that last. You have a choice right now, today. Keep telling yourself this job needs you. Keep sacrificing your family for a company that's already planning your replacement. Keep missing the moments that matter for meetings that won't matter in 5 years. Or wake up. Realize that you're replaceable at work and irreplaceable at home. That your kids need you now, not after you retire. That the company will forget you, but your family will remember your absence forever. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you, you don't want to be 77 running into former colleagues who don't remember you while your son keeps you at arm's length. Don't waste 38 years building a legacy at a company that will forget you in a week. Learn from my mistake.
Leave work on time. Go to the recital. Turn off your phone at dinner. Miss the meeting if it means being at the graduation. The company will survive without you. Your family might not. If this resonates, share this video. Leave a comment about one work event you're going to skip this month to be with your family. Subscribe because I have more expensive lessons to share and not much time left to tell them. The clock is ticking. What legacy are you actually building?